Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for being here. Today is Friday, day 2 of the Masters. I am your host, Nick Nelson, and with me as always is David Thompson, Duffer 1 and Duffer 2. How are you, David? Are you ready to head into the weekend? Are you ready?
I'm ready to head into the weekend. As you can see, I'm trying to live up to snuff to our logo here up in the corner. I'm trying to get back into face ready for golf season, and what better way than with the Masters?
Heck yeah!
It's just I tell you what, this fantasy thing has put an entirely new twist to watching the Masters.
Oh yeah.
So much so, I think we get right into it. One of our guest Duffers is going to be joining us today to talk about the day 2 results. Steven, let's get Steven into the house here.
All right. Hey, Steven, how are you?
I'm doing very well today. Thanks for joining me in here. It's a pleasure to join some fellow Duffers.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited to I'm not very excited to recap the fantasy scoreboard. If you've looked at my current position on the scoreboard, I got a little too anxious or a little too much behind my first year person, and the points were just not coming in. Yeah. So there's some great performances, but Tyler Strafacci really put a damper on everything that I was doing the last couple of days. -9, -10 points. So, I would have been better off taking nobody after watching Tyler at the Bandon Dunes Amateur. I was watching that over the summer with the rain, the fog, 40-mile-an-hour winds. I said, this guy will at least come out and turn a decent round in at Augusta. Well, apparently I was wrong.
Yeah, well, I think everyone has had some ups and downs. Not this guy right here. Still Duffer 2 in the lead, heading into day 2 with a awesome 55 points. Now, we weren't able to get B. Gruba on today. So the top 3... Yeah, David's not even in the top 3. So, I mean, I'd love to say that
the tournament starts tomorrow, baby.
No. The tournament started on Thursday. So just so you're aware, it did start on Thursday. Whether you decided to show up until Saturday is on you. But the tournament did start already, and maybe you were snoozing through most of yesterday and today. But and let's talk about.
First of all, I love this angst. We really should record throughout the entire day.
Yeah,
I should just so I can show you the midday clips of all the middle fingers, all the getting up and running out of the back office, coming through, yelling at Bryson. Then all of a sudden he starts to make a move. The day settles. Duffer's back on top because those names moved up and down all day. And once the dust settles and he's still sitting there, all of a sudden he was like, I'm so tired and I had to go take a nap.
Let's go through the picks. And David's right. Like throughout the day, like David was on a conference call, right? And I had written on my little sticky note here because Spieth had just blown a putt. And I wrote, and this is not a kids channel. I'll go ahead and use the expletives. I wrote, fuck, Spieth, fuck. And I held it up like right there. And David, like it caught David's eye. He was in the middle of a meeting and he turns and he looks and he's like, he's laughing at me because like Spieth just destroyed himself on one of those holes. But you're right. We had so many good moves today. I mean, it was a roller coaster. Bryson finally started to get his shit together, which was fantastic. Let's go through the list real quick. So let's take a look. Myself versus since Bryce, Mr. Group is not here now. We have Cusack. You're not Adam, are you?
Cusack is in 10th right now.
Yeah, S Cusack 1983.
Okay, so you're oh Jesus Christ. Okay, so let's go ahead between you and myself.
Come on, the guy -9 both days from Strafacci. I would have been better off leaving that spot open. He just got 0.
You know what though is you're absolutely right because Andrew
actually did that. He does not have And he does not have a first timer in there. So he has no one in there. And so
I don't know how I feel about that, though.
Well,
if Andrew is watching or something, I don't know how I feel about that, just simply because, just as, Steve here, he's getting crushed by a 9-point, but he's avoiding the 9-point. At the same time, he's not gaining any points either.
Did you see that? It just clicked over. He got cut.
Yeah, he missed the cut.
So now,
yes. So now I get to replace him.
You have an opportunity to replace him, which does bring up something that I want to chat about. Something I was chatting about with David, and I told him to check tape. So on Wednesday, when we locked in this, it was either Wednesday or Tuesday when we locked in our picks. I asked David, "Now, are these your picks through the whole tournament?" And David says, "Yeah, they're my picks for the whole tournament." There was never any talk of replacing. So here's my question to David, and I'm putting it's on air, and this is recorded. Are you going to replace your international, or are you just going to leave it with nobody in there?
I don't know yet. I honestly don't know. Because I understand you say, yeah, it takes the asterisk or whatever. Mm-hmm. But what's very unique about the rules of this is this very scenario. You know, do you get to realign in fantasy football? When people go out, you get to realign it when those things happen. So they established it. I don't think we actually knew the rules on the check tape. But I will agree to the asterisk that Duffer 2 here will throw on me.
Oh yeah.
I in all sincerity, I also don't want to drop to the bottom of the list here. I got my wife in the league. We've got Mr. AARP in the league. Like I don't know. I don't know if I can risk not replacing that player.
Yeah, let's take a look at the second place here, who again does not have a pick for the first timer.
But here's the thing. Here's my question, and I'll ask Steve this. Not having somebody in the international spot, I think, is 100 times more damaging than not having somebody in the first timer spot.
Absolutely. I mean, Zalatoris is really just lighting it up out there. The fact of how many points he has put up is just shocking. I mean, there was only 6 first timers, I believe. There was 3 amateur invites and 3 professionals that were playing in their first Masters. So the pickings were pretty slim to begin with, and people are just getting lucky. With Zalatoris, what is he in? Like tied for second. Yeah,
he's tied. Is he tied or is he solo second?
No, he's tied.
Harmon's at 6 as well. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop right there because I don't think it was lucky. I've been the last 4 weeks I've been listening and following this guy because I found out that he was gonna go to the Masters, right? So I went back. I started checking tape. I started looking at past performance. I started listening to interviews about Will Zalatoris back from like Waste Management, and they were like, this kid is unbelievable. This kid is unbelievable. I mean, there was so much good footage on Zalatoris that like when he came up as like that he was going to be invited, I was like, all day. I don't think that's
all day.
All day. I think that, my friends, is solid detective work is what that is. That's checking tape.
I said this yesterday. I said Zalatoris was which is really funny. Next year, this is going to be the most scrutinized fantasy league I can guarantee you.
100%.
After already being enthralled in this, it's crazy about like where I think it will land next year. Because going into this, I did the same thing. I eliminated the amateurs. Like none of these two are going to actually score any real points. But I also didn't really read into how the scoring was going to go, how you do it, what was the negative, what was the positive. Had I had done that, I never would have taken Rory. I took Rory on namesake, on he's trying to do the close the door on the all 4 majors. Like I didn't look at the point structure of how the fantasy league was going to run.
Right.
Had I had done that, I would have never put Rory in there because. I think a lot of people did that, looking at actually who they picked. They gambled on like, ooh, if I put the right people in and I get the anomaly of the winner, you know, like, ooh, I can win the fantasy league. Then when you actually kind of read how the league is structured, Nick here's got a really good lineup.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to laugh because I too would have never took Matsuyama. You know me, I would have never took Ishkabibble. Me and Nick have our own beat. You know, he's an absolute super fan of Bryson. Good guy. I have my. I'll stand behind it. I got my reasons. And then we both took Jordan. So it now really comes down to that amateur play. It comes down to that, you know, that international play, you know, because we have different players, you know, in that spot. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be very, very unique. I think it's definitely now going to be a really interesting Masters because of this fantasy league. Right. Because I said it before and I said it again, I'm a huge Tiger fan. So with Tiger not being here at the Masters, I just don't feel like it's got the same roar, you know.
Pardon the pun.
You know, yeah, you know, just, you know, all together. I don't know. What's your insight on that, Stephen?
No, I completely agree. I did not look into the scoring structure at all. I was just excited to have the Masters Fantasy up and running and just pick some names that I knew or people that I thought had a chance. You know, someone like Bryson, Jordan Spieth, I've always been a big fan of, especially coming off of, you know, the win down at Valero and being a past winner. So I was able to, you know, slot him in. And when I looked midday, you know, or yesterday, maybe noon or so, when I was negative 11 points, and I'm like, what is going on? So then terms and conditions, rules page, and I was like, well, I should have read this, you know, much in advance. While we're on this subject as well, there's been a lot of discussion amongst me and some of the other players, and I assume you folks, about the tiebreaker question.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to delve into that real quick and some of the methodology around that and how we kind of came up with the numbers. But I had people throwing numbers at me, making me think that I was wrong. And then I, you know, rechecked my math, rechecked the statistics, and turns out that I even guessed low. You know, one of my buddies was like, oh, 900 or 1100. I was like, I don't think so.
Wow.
So I
my number was higher.
Yeah, I went with 21, which is in retrospect 2100.
Oh, okay.
100 total pars.
The first 9 players had 21 pars.
Yeah. No.
Was it pars or was it pars? It was pars. Okay.
Total number of pars by the field for the tournament. And yesterday I was doing some addition on it, and there was 922 or 926 yesterday. Obviously, it looks like 54 guys made the cut. So that's going to cut down the numbers, but there's still going to be about 4,900-ish total holes of golf played. So I still think my number is going to be on the low side.
So let you know, and I don't remember. I don't remember where to find what my number was. But I remember. I know what my number was. It was like 5,128.
Total pars. So you guess more pars than the total number of holes that are potentially going to be played by all golfers over the whole tournament. Yes. Okay, I just wanted the viewers to just be aware of that.
Yes, 100. Yeah, 100%. 5,000. Well, no, I asked Alexa. Alexa told me last year there was 4,900 pars.
No. Yeah. I was looking at the math of that as well, because you also got to realize it depends on the field on Thursday. All depends on how many past champions come back, the invites, how many people have actually made the the points and structure to get there. So that Thursday, Friday number is always going to be an unbelievably large field, right?
Totally.
Then whatever your cut line determines, like you just said, we just ended up with 54. Mm-hmm. You know, so that number is obviously going to make a variable. I looked at it slightly different and said, not everyone's going to go out there and shoot just par or better. So you're going to have a crap ton of bogeys, which we saw. Right. You know, you're going to have birdies or better. So that's going to cut into the par number. So yeah, I understand what your math just did on Nick's guess, and so it's just it's a hard one,
It is.
I just hope it's done. What was it? Let's make a deal style. As long as everybody else is over and I'm closest under, I get the number. Honestly, the way the point structure is going, I don't think we're going to end up in a tiebreaker.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Especially for this group. This group, especially, I've dissected what everybody has. Stephen, you and I mean, you're probably the closest person. Our international and our amateur or our first timer. Those are the only difference. Other than that, we've got the same two, Bryson and Spieth. And David and I both have Spieth, and so we're very close in that respect. And now you have an opportunity at this point now to make a change to your first timer, and that's a tough one. The first timers, David's actually in a way better position choosing an international player. He has a very large group to choose from still, so he has some thought to put in that. But yeah, having to choose a new first timer, like you said, with only 6 being in there, I don't know how many of them were actually cut. I don't know how many are left.
I'm picking Zalatoris. I mean,
there's only 2 out of the first time. It's Zalatoris and McNair. Everybody else missed the cut.
Okay, yeah. See, so
it's 50-50.
Yeah,
and that's uniquely enough, it's exactly who I said when me and Nick were putting this together. It was kind of like I didn't want to have the exact same lineup as Nick,
right?
Because that would have just kind of defeated the purpose of us battling each other as Duffers.
Yeah, and
then we were like, well, screw it. Let's open this up to the fans. Let's open this up to friends. So then that even widened how many other people are playing and looking at this, which I love the fact that we got 12 people in this league, in like a 2 days notice of, the Masters. And one, it wasn't too hard because I hit everybody up that I knew that had 9 screens open, watching the Masters, to jump in. But yeah,
DJ didn't make the cut. So I didn't know that DJ didn't.
Yeah. So let's talk about that real quick. Here are your notables. Go to the notables that missed.
Yeah,
McIlroy missed.
McIlroy's gone.
DJ missed. Just go down the list.
Koepka, but he shouldn't have been playing. With his.
Oh my God, I said that so many times today. Like I go, he should have gone out there. Kuchar.
Thank God Garcia's gone. Go home to Spain. Get on the next plane.
Take his. Did you notice today they didn't even film him from the knees down?
No.
Did you see the pants he had on yesterday, Steve?
He looked like an asshole.
Yes, I do. Yeah, he's.
I amazed that they allowed him to go out there on the course.
So Koepka's gone.
Out on the course, looking like he was wearing some yoga pants or something.
Yeah.
So
Westwood.
Westwood's gone. Wait. That's Lee Westwood.
Yeah, Lee Westwood.
I was going to say, because Westwood...
Are you thinking Fleetwood?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Fleetwood. Sorry. My bad. Westwood's gone. McIlroy's gone.
Zach Johnson.
Yep.
Everybody, a lot of people put some numbers.
Jason Day. Freddie Couples is gone, which Giggity, who's another member of this league, had him in there. And that's it. So disqualified. What happened to Wolf?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know there was a disqualified. Yeah. I do know the who got hit with that sand penalty, which
Abraham Answer.
Yeah, I feel bad. I think that was such a BS call.
Tell me what happened. I didn't hear that.
So just so the fans and everybody watching and stuff like just look at this. One of the golfers was in the sand trap, and because of today's awesome technology and them zoomed in counting the grains of the sand, the golfer was addressing his shot, and he was clearly number of times looked like he was getting position as golfers do, moving their little waggle trying to get there. He finally went to commit, and as he was committing to make the shot and he was pulling the club away, it slightly, and I'm talking I do not say anybody could have seen that by the naked eye without a 4K camera zoomed in on the ball so you could read the logo like it was just printed off the line.
Abraham Answer.
And all of a sudden it pulls back and it shows him go through and they basically told him, hey, at the end of yesterday's round, you got a two-stroke penalty, which I think was right there on 15.
On 15.
Putting him in at around his 75. So I think it was unbelievably controversial, and this whole being able to see stuff and that was just like, Lexi Thompson and somebody calling in, over the phone, so-and-so did this. It was like, are you kidding me? Like, we now can interject from right here online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was not a Patrick Reed situation. He was not building any sandcastles down in the bunker. It was like 2 grains of sand like touched the bounce on the bottom of his club as he was pulling it away. It was inconsequential and unintentional, and as David mentioned, not visible to the naked eye.
Right.
And
right.
that really needs to get fixed. Like, I understand, rules and this and that, but this was, 2 strokes for 2. So each grain of sand was 1 additional stroke on his scorecard.
No, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I find it incredibly ironic that their cover photo for him is
sand trap.
Is in the sand trap. All right, we do have a comment. We have no Tom Brady's allowed in golf. Yeah, Deflategate. I'm with her. I would love to find. I would have loved to have found that footage. It doesn't look like they have. Well, maybe they do.
Go to the third round shot there.
Round 1. All right here.
Yeah, it was from round 1.
So that particular shot, caused the whole. But I mean, as you can see, there was no. I don't care what it says. There was no way anyone saw that on the naked eye. You could replay that 1,000 times, and you will not see that sand move.
Exactly. Like, I watched it in slow-mo, zoomed in, and I had to watch it 3 times to figure out what they were talking about.
I don't understand. I didn't see.
So on that, so what they're not showing you here on this is it just as he's taken the club away, like, and it's not even close enough, so you can't even see it in this particular shot. It was like he had the club close to the ball, and just as he was taking it away, the wind blew a particle of sand, and they were like, whatever, Mexico, we're about to, cause an international war over.
Yeah, I just sent you a better angle of it if you want to check the chat.
All right. Yep. I see that. So let me go here, and we're gonna drag this over to here. All right.
There it was.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah. That's and
here's the problem. Here's what I think is the thing is, it wasn't called by somebody standing there with the naked eye. It was called because you've got a freaking 4K camera counting the sand in the sand trap.
Yeah, zoomed in.
Yeah,
I think it was absolute. It's
that camera is a better view than what Abraham saw standing over the ball. Like, that is
all day long
closer than what he saw standing there. And I mean, that just does not appear to be intentional. There, like, that sand wasn't even in his way. It was just, an unfortunate situation. And they were supposed to fix it. I believe there was talk of a rule because of the advent and the, of how prolific all of the high definition cameras have become. The PGA was talking about a naked eye rule where, to keep your telephone warriors. Look like so, like, can't see it with the naked eye.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right. In the interest of time, let's go ahead and make our predictions for day 3. Stephen, being our guest, what do you think? What do you think tomorrow's shakeup is going to look like?
Well, again, I mentioned Spieth at the beginning. I am a big Jordan fan. I would love to see him go on a run and, be in the final grouping going into Sunday, or even the second to last grouping. I feel like Zalatoris, despite all your research and the fact that I am picking him up, I don't think he's going to fall apart. But let's face it, moving day at the Masters for a first timer. I can see some butterflies and some uncertainty happening to him. So I do not expect to see him on the first scroll of the leaderboard on the top of the page at the end of the day tomorrow.
Okay. I think that, him being a first timer, I think I would have to agree. It's a good pick. He's gotten me some great points. I'm not going to say he's going to win it. However, listening to today's broadcast, I actually heard an announcer say, and I quote, "I think there's a good chance we'll see him on the top of the leaderboard come Sunday, the end of Sunday." Now, I don't think he's going to win, but I think he's going to. I think the kid has. He's got something. Number one, he needs to eat a cheeseburger, and a large fry. David said,
"Introduce him to Bryson."
Yeah, like whatever protein shake Bryson is drinking, let this kid drink 6 of them. The kid weighs about what'd you say? About 105 wet. I mean, he's got noodles for arms, so he can stand.
Wasn't he Happy Gilmore's caddy back in for the Tour Championship in 1996?
Yeah, he might have been. I think he might have been still swimming in his dad's nutsack, but I don't know. He's tiny. He is tiny. Actually, the guy that played Happy Gilmore's, God dang it! I don't remember which golfer it was. Was it Lowry?
I know who you're talking about.
Lowry.
Is it Lowry?
Yeah. His caddy looks just like the dude from Happy Gilmore, and I even pointed out, I was like, Jesus, where do you find that guy? Like in the parking lot? So David, since you're not in the lead, let's let you go.
Oh yeah. Till tomorrow. Here's one. There's a standing bet right now between me and Giggity. Giggity thinks Rosie's gonna go wire to wire. Not gonna happen. He's lucky he helped. I almost had my $10 today. Had one person.
Oh, Jesus!
Like I almost had it right in the bank. Today. Him, because wire to wire is holding the number 1 spot all 4 days and winning. So, like I said, I think that money's in the bank as far as Rosie. I do think he is going to put a run. My prediction still, and I'm still standing to it, is going to be Justin Thomas. Okay. However, I do think Spieth is gonna. He's loosening up. Thursday versus today, it was his demeanor, everything. He was laughing today. He was enjoying the round today, and it showed in the way it played. So I think it's definitely going to see a shakeup. I think it's going to be a run. I think this is going to be one of those things that we are going to have to film some of the back office and stuff, because there's going to be so many antics of going back and forth of watching these numbers and places move throughout the day, stroke by stroke. And I mean, when it comes to Saturday and Sunday, like this is it. This is where the Masters gets good.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, and so my predictions is that David is going to jump on the bandwagon and pick somebody awesome. Maybe he is going to go with the crazy Australian that looks like they just got him out of a trailer park.
No, that one I won't do just out of spite. Can't do it.
I seriously, it looks the guy looks like as soon as he gets done, his caddy hands him a pack of Marlboros, and since he hasn't had cigarettes all day, he lights 4. And just does this number because he's just. But seriously, so I think David's going to jump on board with him. We'll see later tonight. My prediction is still with Bryson DeChambeau. Today was the second 9 was very Bryson-esque. We saw him make some incredible drives. We did see him screw up a couple, but he had some great recoveries. namely 18. 18's first shot went errant off to the right about 10, 15 yards out into the woods. He came back with a birdie. I mean, like he's the guy is a powerhouse. No, hold on. Let me finish my predictions here, bucko. Here's what I think. I think that Justin Thomas is going to choke. I think he's going to choke. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but I think Bryson can take him. And I think we're going to see tomorrow being moving day, we're going to see Bryson start climbing that rank. He barely made the cut.
Close a 7-stroke gap.
Son, we watched freaking Brooks Koepka do it and at Waste Management on Friday. The guy wasn't anywhere near the leaderboard.
Yeah.
He was 21st place. Saturday, Sunday, he walked up that leaderboard and was standing at the top of the mountain at the end of Sunday. So I know that Bryson can pull this off.
He's only 6 off, by the way. He's tied for 17th at -1. So
thank you.
It's really not a lot of room, and you get a guy or two that drops. I mean, Rose shot even par today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to interject real quick with one other thing. I have the breaking news on Nat Wolff in the DQ. So 13 minutes ago, he was disqualified despite not making the cut. He turned in an incorrect scorecard, and that is why they disqualified him. So he wasn't playing, but he signed an incorrect scorecard, and he is a gone.
Dude,
was it an HD zoom in on his shoelace touching the sand while making a putt?
Might have been.
And, he signed for a 4, and the video showed him carding a 5.
First rule of golf. This is why David Thompson doesn't play in the PGA. You have to be truthful on you got to be truthful on your scorecard.
Well, yeah. I mean, the best way to take 5 shots off your game is to buy an eraser.
I only play at courses with David where they don't have erasers on there.
Come on, he's got his own supply. He probably has his face printed on to eraser pencils that he keeps in his golf bag.
We got to know.
This is why he's in love with Bryson, because when he plays with me, he knows exactly what it feels like to be outdroven by like 200 yards per from tee box. So I see why he's got the the love affair for the Hulk.
I mean, believe me, the dude asked me to come down to Augusta today. I'd be on a plane, and I'm not gonna lie, I'd do whatever I needed to do.
Well, we won't expand upon that.
Yeah. There you go. I'd be his good. I'd be his good guy.
Yeah, exactly. The good team.
All right. Good team. So we're running a full half an hour right now, but guys, I wanted to thank you both for being on. The trash talk is starting to really. Another great comment from a viewer. 300 yards doesn't mean shit if you're 2 fairways over.
Really?
Oh yes!
Wow!
Oh, the zinger! Oh, right there! I love it. I love it.
You're just mad because I can recover from 2 fairways over.
That's right. I always say, a fairway is a fairway, whether it's yours or another hole. You're still hitting off a fairway.
I mean, I've seen David drive by, scoop up his ball, drive to our fairway, and drop it. Is that a recovery? Is that a recovery?
Yeah, I think so. It's fair. Two club drop, right? 2 clubs, 2 fairways, same difference.
Son of bitches. No one in this place.
We just beating you up today. All right, so we're moving into day 3. Wanted to say thank you guys for being here. This is awesome. Tomorrow afternoon, I'd like to do the same thing, do a day 3 recap, and then obviously on day 4, I've been searching every single Goodwill for a nice green jacket that I could wear to this beautiful. I haven't found.
That'll be impressive if you got a green jacket come Sunday. That'll be impressive.
If my boy takes it, I'm just gonna fly down there. It's gonna be too big in the shoulders. I'm gonna borrow his. It'll be too big in the shoulders. That's fine. The guy's got some massive shoulders. So, Stephen, thank you so much for being here. It's always nice to have a second person that can make fun of David. And David, as always.
That's all right. He's going to go onto the ban list just like Gigi.
Oh,
I changed the password to StreamYards, and now you can't get on. Show me up on my own StreamYards. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, as always, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like, pound it. Let us know where you want to play. You want us to come play. We'd love to come out and review. At the end of the day, despite jammering about the Masters, we do want to review golf courses with you. We will be heading out to Colorado to play with Andrew, Steven, what is it, Donald? Who's the big golfer over there, Steve? The PGA guy who just came off the PGA?
Oh, Ryan Moore?
I'll ask Andrew.
Yeah.
Donald or something. I don't know. We have somebody in the organization that used to actually play on tour, and now he wants to sell copiers. So I don't know. So it's
interesting.
Give or take trade, of it all. But we will be shooting here again soon. We are back into production, and we're reviewing courses per your guys' request.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we determine. We've done what we like, and we've made our reviews. Now we want to know what you want reviewed. So again, hit the subscribe, hit like. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the weekend.
Have a great afternoon.
Tee times are just released. Check them out.
Perfect. See you guys.